Night Football with WGNO Sports Director Ed Daniels.
Brought to you by Churches, Helm Paint and Supply, Lakeside Hospital, Stonebreakers Restaurant, and Freeport McMoran.
Hi, and welcome to the show. The menu is a busy one tonight with Shaw at Hahnville, and in that monster 10-team league, district play begins in week 2. J.T. Curtis, so much for preseason. Who needs it?
Oh, there is no preseason. They have to be ready to play. One slip-up can cost you the district championship. I think you can win it, though, with one loss in that district.
And a long way to go with 9 weeks there, but it's still pre-district elsewhere. The atmosphere electric as Hahnville's Darren Barbier welcomed his mentor, Shaw coach Hank Tierney, tonight, and this was a great football game. Here's how it unfolded.
They were going to see Bruce James will go in for the score from 2 yards out, going to give Shaw an early 6-0 lead. The PAT was no good, could have been a big factor in the game.
Oh, and Hank reaches into the trick book here. 4th and 20. Chucky Parquette, a lateral to Juma Elo, then across the field to D'Artagnan Miller, wide open. 2-point conversion good. Shaw stuns Hahnville, leading 14-0.
4th down and inches. They don't make it. The quarterback stopped. Shaw take over at the 1-yard line.
Then the Eagles go off with the momentum in a 98-yard drive. Parquette, 6 yards for the score. Shaw 20-0 at that point, but then it got very interesting.
Big play right before the end of the half. You're going to see a touchdown pass thrown here from Clifton White to Cliff Haynes. 20-7 at the half.
Then Parquette will have his pass batted in the air, intercepted by Vernon Robisky, Terry's nephew. He will go for the score. Hahnville back in it, trailing 20-13.
Not finished yet. Here comes Clifton White to go 12 yards for the touchdown. The PAT was good, tied up 20-20 in the third.
And it went down to the wire in the 4th quarter. Shaw wins it 27-20. We'll talk to the coaches later on in Friday Night Football as our extensive coverage from Hahnville continues. Holy Cross maybe be waking up the echoes. 13-0 over Chalmette, and it was Hammond 17, Slidell 15. Now to that district play. Riverdale and Henry Rando and East Jeff.
Had a big play, but we don't see it. A 67-yard kickoff return puts the ball on the 13-yard line. 2 plays later, Clarence Martin steps it in 12 yards to the PAT. Riverdale up 6-0.
EJ facing 4th and 6 from the Riverdale 11. Steve Chiuili passes to Aaron Adams for the touchdown. Game was tied at 6-all.
Big play right here. We're going to see a fumble that's recovered by East Jefferson's Gerald Bester. Riverdale at Riverdale's 46-yard line.
2 plays later. Pitch to who else? Aaron Adams runs left. Cuts it back. He's gone. 46 yards for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion was good. EJ led 14-6 at that point, and the Warriors go on to win 28-12 over Riverdale. Errett 47, Higgins nothing, and Thibodeau in a defensive struggle 11-8 over Baker. At East St. John, the Covington Lions in for a visit.
Tough night with the rain, and it's always a factor. We're going to see a fumble right here by Andy Stroop. He covers it, but it stopped him for a loss. Covington's in business.
Again, they fumble it again. Ball's all over the field. Nathaniel Peters gets it for Covington.
Here's a nice play by Covington's Mark Gibson. He's going to scramble to his right, finds Chancey Carr for a 16-yard touchdown. The conversion was good. Lions up 28-zip.
And the nail in the coffin comes courtesy Kyle Anderson. 27-yard touchdown run. This guy's a mudder. He loves the mud. He takes it in for the score, and Covington scores big over East St. John, 47-0. Rummel won at Capital, 23-20, and it was Catholic of Baton Rouge in a shootout, 57-24 over Independence. On the Bayou tonight, Brother Martin grad, Doug Mouton, shooting his Crusaders against South Lafourche, and he was bad luck.
Brother Martin's quarterback here on the option. The pitch goes to Ken Clement. He gets hit hard by the Tarpons. Jermone Ahmad, the big D for South Lafourche all night.
Tarpons get a drive going. Number 36, Tyler Lassane, bowls his way for 12 big yards.
5 plays later, watch number 33 here. Ross Fullolove goes in from 8 yards out, 10-play, 80-yard drive, big play.
And South Lafourche can toot their horns 13-7 over Brother Martin. The Crusaders start the year 0-2 with 2 tough road games. Destrehan rolls over Terrebonne 48-7, and it was Bourgeois over De La Salle tonight by a score of 13-12. Up the road, Wayne Reese and his Carver Rams against Central Lafourche.
Wayne Reese has got a good football team. Carver's going to be here in the white. Number 15, Torrey Allen carries it, but he's belted by the Trojans, Preston Boudreau, and a big play for the big defense of Central Lafourche all night.
And it was Ricky Guidros who had a big night here. He runs for 13. Central Lafourche dominated play all night, and they win it over the Carver Rams. Keep that Ram offense in check, 21-6 the final. Salmon over Pearl River, 20-10, and it was Booker T. Washington winning at Franklin by a score of 12-0. Bounce back time for Jesuit. Didn't figure to be so easy against Walker tonight, but it was.
It was tough. Quarterback Herbert Tyler right here goes back to throw. The ball comes out of his hand. The Jesuit lineman Joe Levine covers it at the 3-yard line.
Then Todd Golemi, the touchdown maker, dives in from the 3. PAT good, and Jesuit was leading Walker at that point 28-0.
Walker's going to make a little comeback here. Melvin Davis runs up the middle 41 yards down to the Jesuit 32-yard line, but it just wasn't enough, I don't think.
2 plays later, Herbert Tyler ran 29 yards to the Jesuit 3-yard line, but 3 plays netted 13 yards, and the half ended with Walker on Jesuit's 16-yard line. The score remained there, 28-0, and when it was over, the Jesuit Blue Jays won it by a score of 49-6. It was Landry 16, Lutcher 15, and Port Sulphur shut out Forte by a score of 22-0. When the coach and I return, a look at one of the all-time greats in prep sports history, but first, the 5A statewide top 10 as Friday Night Football continues.
Aches and pains, it's nice to know where to turn for help. The Sports Medicine Center at Lakeside Hospital is based on a team approach. Physicians, therapists, and personal fitness trainers work with you and your doctor to make sure you get a treatment program geared to your needs. Everything from state-of-the-art...
Edenborn behind Schwegman's off fence.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football. Coach, let's head up the river where the football is always interesting and exciting, and it was tonight.
Continued to be that way at West St. John. We're going to see quarterback Ira Jackson. We see the game right here start. Ira Jackson's going to drop back. He's going to hit Tommy Poche on a real nice 53-yard TD throw. Two-point conversion is good. The Rams are up 8-0. They look like they got a shot at that dome again.
And they do. Dwayne Thomas picks up a tough 7 yards here for West St. John. They have more than Nikhil Lupa in their backfield, and he runs for a tough 7 there.
But you can't count Nikhil Lupa out. We're going to see Nikita cap off a drive here. 5-yard run, two-point conversion's good again. West St. John's up 16-0.
And they rolled over Riverside 30-8. It was Country Day 26, St. Martin 7, and Bell Chase beat Redeemer 25-6. We're on week 2 of the Peyton Manning Tour, stopping at the Dome tonight against Episcopal.
Watch here now, the same thing we saw last week. We're going to see Manning roll one way, pull up, and throw back across the field to Nathan Stives. 46-yard TD, PAT good, 7-7 tie in the Dome.
And then after the ensuing kickoff, Episcopal marches downfield. 8 plays capped off by Stephen Underwood, passing 5 yards to Jimmy Williams.
This is a problem, and it's going to happen sometimes when you're throwing a football. We're going to see a Peyton Manning pass get tipped, and we have a problem with the touchdown. Episcopal up 21-7.
And it doesn't look good for Newman, or does it? 35-21 now at halftime as Newman came back big. Ecole Classique and Pope John Paul were canceled because of weather problems up on the North Shore, and Gulfport, Mississippi beat Ridgewood tonight by a score of 27-8. This afternoon, McMain and the Lawless Pythians, and this was a ball game of a lot of twists and turns.
Lawless leading 14-0 at halftime. McMain's first offensive play from scrimmage to start the second half. Julius Green throws it deep for a big score.
45 yards. Then the good defense. McMain driving. Edward Collins of Lawless hits the running back, who fumbles. It's recovered by Lloyd Williams for Lawless. And then this play.
Look at that. Intercepted on the pitch, on the option play. He takes the length of the field. That doesn't happen often in an option, but it certainly can. High-risk offense.
High-risk offense. I've been trying to tell you that for years, but the veer will always be at Curtis. Lawless beat McMain 14-12. E.D. White 29, Clark 12. And it was St. Paul's over St. Charles by a score of 33-20. Down in Fisher, they know all about Anchors Away, and so would our scholar athlete. He'd like to. He's sponsored by Helm Paint and Supply. Check out Roger Colbert in the middle of the line as Doug Mouton reports.
Roger Colbert has been the center of attention at Fisher since his sophomore year, gaining all district honors last year as a junior. This season, he's learning a new position, defensive end.
My shoulders are staying square, so I'm shuffling on it.
Everything's yes sir, no sir. Hustle, does anything you tell him, comprehends everything we do offensively and defensively. That's one of the reasons he's able to go both ways.
His commitment to education is just as strong. Roger sports a 4.7 GPA and scored a 26 on the ACT as a sophomore. He lost over 30 pounds this summer in pursuit of his latest goal, to be accepted to the Naval Academy.
My dad was in the Navy, and I just really feel drawn to go there, and I like it's a steam to get in. It's a great honor just to even to get into there.
If not Annapolis, Tulane and LSU top Rogers list. Fisher's Roger Colbert, this week's Scholar Athlete.
Principals and counselors who would like to nominate a scholar athlete can do so by writing us here at WGNO, 2 Canal Street. The zip is 70130.
Just one person to stay in school.
Through the Partnerships in Education program, Donna Whittington is helping to develop another priceless resource, our kids.
I'm showing Candace that if she works hard, anything is possible.
This year, our special Year in the Life of a Child program has paired 48 Freeport-McMoran employees with children at Guy Ray Elementary.
It really helps them to know, hey, there is someone who cares. I'm getting something back.
I'm getting something back, too.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football. Now let's check the rest of our Friday Night Football scoreboard. We start tonight with Davidson and Buras. And, boy, we're trying to get them up all over the screen. We're so itching to get it done. Do we have a lot of scores? You betcha. And here they are. Buras over Davidson, 27-0. Hannon beat Parkview, 34-0. It was Ben Franklin, 17. Boothville Venice, 14. Elsewhere on our board, Fisher over St. Bernard, 41-6. Ponchatoula shut out Albany, 37-0. Pine, 36. Crescent City, 8. It was Abramson 12, North Shore 6, Bogalusa 13, Franklinton 6, and St. James over South Terrebonne by a score of 40-0. Walker and Laranger went triple overtime. Walker won at 26-20. A-Meet 41, Jackson 0. It was Lutheran 21, Gaines 13. Vanderbilt Catholic beat Catholic New Iberia 27-6. And it was Varnado 14, Dexter, Mississippi 6. Also, Clinton tonight beat St. Helena by a score of 26-0. Chris Howard, the talented John Curtis runner, is on every blue chip list, and he's on our Stonebreakers Sweet 16 list, sponsored by Stonebreakers Restaurant. Here's Chris and Benny.
He can run over you, or he can run around you. That's why most recruiters feel he's our state's best back. John Curtis's Chris Howard.
As a junior, Howard ran for 1,164 yards and scored 14 touchdowns, while averaging over 10 yards a carry. The 6'1", The 218-pound Curtis Patriot can run with power or use his 4.5 speed to outrun tacklers. In a well-balanced offense, this returning All-State running back only gets the ball about 12 times a game, but still managed to leave his mark on opponents. Coach J.T. Curtis says the 3-year starter leads the team by example on the field and in the classroom. Chris has already completed his core curriculum and college entrance exams. Howard, who is on just about every recruiter's most wanted list, has no early college preferences, but college recruiters may have a hard time luring him too far away from his close-knit family.
Chris Howard and 3 guests will enjoy dinner at Stonebreakers. Ought to be nice and good. Now let's check out some Thursday night action. Coach, we do it with McDonough and Reed, and this was a topsy-turvy football game on Thursday night at Pan Am.
It was exciting. Reed's Cornell Warren's going to have a 23-yard touchdown pass to Derek Porter for the touchdown. The PAT was no good. It was tied up 6-6, but that was just the beginning of the scoring.
Late fourth quarter, McDonough Trojans trailing 21-18. Quincy Kelly goes in from 4 yards out, and McDonough had the lead, but then Reed struck.
1:58 to play. The Reed Olympians strike the hook and ladder right out of the old college playbook. Edwards, Bacchus take the pitch. Reed goes up and holds off McDonough 35-34.
35-34, Reed with the trickery, and they use it to pull out the ball game. And it was Nichols also in a 1-point game beating Ellender by a score of 14-13. We'll revisit Sean Hahnville, some fourth quarter highlights and post game. Back with more Friday Night Football on WGNO TV, Channel 26.
Ain't that great? I guarantee that's great. I like the crumble.